Well, we have gleaned through the numbers from the results of the state elections, the bypolls and the Lok Sabha bypoll results, and we bring you a few insights. First and foremost, yes, best ever performance of the BJP, beating its own career best performance of 127 in 2002. The figure we are looking at now is well past 150, which also breaches the highest ever score by any party in Gujarat. The previous record was set by Congress Party in 1985 with a score of 149 seats. So interesting, for a state where Congress at one point of time used to win 149 seats, it's a rout, no doubt. But then it's also managed to retain its position as the biggest opposition party. We have the answer now to who the runners-up will be. That was, as many experts thought, a suspense in Gujarat. AAP is way behind with a single-digit score, but nevertheless has garnered close to 13% vote share, which is a respectable number, coming from 0.1% in 2017. And with that, AAP gets the distinction of being a national party. So two biggies, two big wins here, breaching BJP's fortress and getting the national party tag for the Aam Aadmi Party. In Himachal Pradesh, Congress has won a comfortable majority, much needed boost to its sagging fortunes. So now let's get into what's worked for the winning parties. Let's put out the graphics there on what's worked for BJP. Well, yes, the Modi-Shah factor and the Gujarati Asmita, that's number one. Organizational overhaul and forward planning. This was an election that was planned meticulously by the ruling BJP, and they didn't take any chances. That has reaped benefits. High-pitched, aggressive campaign with all the top leaders of the party landing up in the state, the Prime Minister himself addressing close to 30 rallies. And what has worked in favor of the BJP undoubtedly is a fragmented opposition, with the votes being split in many constituencies between AAP and Congress. So what has worked against the Congress party? Very clearly, AAP has swooped into the opposition space. That is one thing that has dented their prospects. An unimaginative, lackluster campaign. We didn't see too many of the top Congress leaders going to Gujarat or campaigning with the kind of energy or enthusiasm. Absence of a chief ministerial face, a major factor there. Attrition and the shifting of loyalties of the Congress MLAs, that also has worked against the Congress party. What has worked against AAP? Lack of organizational muscle. Yes, after all, this is the second time that the party is contesting, but it does not have the kind of ground cadre or support that a national party requires. Lack of strong local leadership. It did change the CM face after the fiasco over Gopal Italia. Isudan Gadvi, of course, lost the seat that he was contesting from. There's no previous record to go by. Freebie politics failed to convince. All of these factors have contributed to AAP not really performing to its own expectations. And let's now turn to the other state of Himachal Pradesh. And there again, what we will find is that in the hill state, what has worked for the Congress party? The anti-incumbency. Yes, the state is one that oscillates between two parties. What has worked for the Congress party is also a highly localized campaign. A door-to-door campaign on failures of the BJP rule has worked in their favor. The old pension scheme, many believe, has worked in the Congress's favor, with government employees voting for the Congress. Congress also has spoken very emphatically on bringing back the old pension scheme, something that the BJP has opposed. What has worked against the BJP? The infighting, the tussles within the BJP camp has hurt the party. The Dhumal factor, the Pushkar Singh Dhumal camp could not be placated, and that is why we say the infighting has caused damage. Failed leadership. Many think Jairam Thakur's leadership could not unite the state unit. Gujarat was given far more emphasis than Himachal Pradesh by the BJP. Much greater, far greater emphasis. Himachal Pradesh took a back seat. There again, perhaps the party had to suffer. So let's in fact now introduce our guest joining us here on the program. Satyen Kulabkar, BJP spokesperson, also Sulaiman Muhammad Khan, Congress spokesperson, Huda Zariwala, political analyst, and Madhavan Narayan, senior journalist. Do we have all the guests with us? Okay, Satyen Kulabkar is not with us. Welcome, Mr. Sulaiman Muhammad Khan, Huda Zariwala, Madhavan Narayan. Thanks for joining us. If I can begin with you, then Mr. Khan. Okay, I am told that Satyan Kulabkar is with us. The other guests are still being patched. Okay, Mr. Kulabkar, from Gujarat, the big takeaway is the record margin. The party has breached its own record. But what has also thrown up is the fact that the Congress has managed to stay as the primary opposition. The AAP has made a very, very significant entry with 12% of vote share, 13% I think by now. That is not something to be taken lightly, Mr. Kulabkar.
Bharatiya Janata Party congratulates each and everybody who has participated in the run for democracy in Gujarat. The reason being is everybody has attempted by their own ways and means. Even the percentage share that you people are talking of Aam Aadmi Party, yes, it is from 0.01 to 13%, which is a considerable percentage. We are overwhelmed with the response that people of Gujarat has given for the party. And we have won seats which has been a landslide victory. 156 is a landslide victory for Bharatiya Janata Party, and it is possible only because of the hard work that is done by all the Karyakartas, the vision of Honorable Prime Minister and Amit Shah sir, the governing factor that Mr. C.R. Patil and Bhupendra Bhai Patel, and our General Secretaries. For that instance, the entire organization of Bharatiya Janata Party has come along a very long way. From, just 1 month back, people were talking of the anti-incumbency factor and factors related to BJP winning or how it will win. But you can see a landslide surge in the number of seats that has taken up. It is just because of the vision that the people of Gujarat have faith in Bharatiya Janata Party. We also believe that we were in survey, we were Sarva Manya, and now we are in Sarkar also. So we have been surging out. We have made a lot of things as a history. We have made.
You have lost Himachal. That is something that you have to acknowledge. That there again, the BJP did not have an insipid campaign like the Congress did in Gujarat. The BJP did put its weight behind Himachal as well. What do you think went wrong there?
See, Himachal is again, we have on 26 seats. That's again a good tally, I will say. But yes, we are not forming a government, and there will be a lot of introspection. You will agree to my words that Bharatiya Janata Party takes the social work, the work for public of people of all the states and elections, all the things very seriously. I will like to give you some examples for this. The election ended in Gujarat at 5 o'clock day before yesterday, 2 days back. And on the very next day, all the BJP functionaries were there in Kamlam and working for, Vision 2024. Now, that's the seriousness that we have we have as a political party. We also understand that there has to be analysis of each and everything that has happened. Even for with 156 seats, knowing my Shirshastha Netritva, my people in command, I know that there will be a lot of introspections on where are these 17 seats won by Congress, how AAP has gained this 5-6 seats across. There will be a lot of introspection. There will be planning from day to day.
This is a very precise kind of planning. There is micro level planning that you're explaining to us. Sulaiman Mohammed Khan, Huda Zariwala and Madhavan Narayan also with us now. A warm welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining us. Mr. Khan, we just heard Mr. Kulabkar saying that we have our strategy in place. We take this very, very seriously. And even in Himachal Pradesh, we heard the Prime Minister also say this, that the difference in vote share is absolutely minuscule. So by that logic, you've just managed to scrape through in Himachal. And of course, we have to say that the formal announcement by the ECI is still awaited. Mr. Sulaiman Mohammed Khan? I think you're speaking on mute, sir. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So actually, see the level of negativity this BJP government in Himachal Pradesh had. The full machinery was put into the election campaign, and despite that, Congress has got a comfortable majority, and people of Himachal Pradesh have reposed trust on the Congress party. I, on behalf of the Congress party, thanks the voters of the Himachal Pradesh, and it is completely a failure of the BJP government in Himachal Pradesh. So that is a victory. And as far as Gujarat is concerned, I think we have to do our introspection. We have also lost our vote share as well as a considerable number of seats. But in elections, the mandate has to be respected.
Yes.
We have lost Gujarat, but we have not lost hope. We'll fight it, and we are going to fight this. We'll see. We'll go to voters, talk to them. What was the problem? Because to our understanding, there was a undercurrent in Gujarat as well, and we were hoping that the result will be far better than what we are seeing today. So let's see. We'll introspect and see what were the reasons.
But aren't you worried, Mr. Khan, that AAP has firmly set its foot in Gujarat, almost threatening to dislodge you as the primary opposition?
I cannot comment on Aam Aadmi Party contesting elections. It is their right; they have contested. But I think the bifurcation of votes have further benefited the Bharatiya Janata Party, and they have acted
Yes.
as a B team for BJP for the reason that they knew that they have very little presence there, and despite that, they made a campaign and got some 10% votes. And just because of that, BJP has now, I think this is BJP's highest
Yes, it is.
number of seats they have ever, won in Gujarat. So Aam Aadmi Party has to itself introspect that it is there to empower BJP and weaken the Congress. What is its
Okay.
agenda and
Let me
what
ask.
is its
Let me ask
objective?
Huda
Congress
Zariwala.
Party has been
Okay.
Congress Party is fighting BJP all over the country.
Huda
But the way
Zariwala,
the
you heard
Aam Aadmi
Sulaiman
Party
Mohammad
is
Khan there saying now that it is to AAP's credit that BJP has broken all records. It is because of AAP, and we keep hearing this, that AAP has acted as a B team of the BJP. All that it has done is ensured that BJP wins with this kind of a landslide margin.
Well, good evening. And I'd like to begin by saying that congratulations to the BJP. I mean, yes, it is a victory that is clearly out there. Also, congratulations to the Congress. I mean, Himachal Pradesh is huge, and I'm extremely happy for the Congress that, at the end of the day, it's a win-win. Somehow feels like a victory for all the three parties. I mean, yesterday, Aam Aadmi Party, and now Congress and BJP. Now, that being said, it is quite infuriating and honestly, quite frankly, very unbecoming of both the Congress and the BJP to not give credit where it is due. I mean, Aam Aadmi Party is the youngest, most recent, sort of active party, I would say. The people, we have a lot of youth there. People are on the ground, tackling issues at hand, working with the people at a ground level. Aam Aadmi Party has managed to, be successfully in power in Delhi and Punjab. In Goa, we have 2 MLAs, and now Gujarat. I mean, this is a phenomenal victory. In a state like Gujarat, which is considered to be, the traditional BJP ka garh and everything, Aam Aadmi Party has managed to create inroads. And this very victory has given Aam Aadmi Party the status of a national party in just a decade. Isn't that something that is hugely significant? Isn't that something that finally now both the BJP and the cognizance, the BJP and the Congress need to take due cognizance and finally acknowledge the presence of Aam Aadmi Party.
Yes,
this
no
party
doubt.
is
It's
here
a force
stay.
to reckon with, Huda Zariwala, and you put it very well that one must give credit where it's due. It has made inroads into Gujarat. No one can deny it. So, Madhav and Narayan, then everyone's going back happy today. The AAP is claiming that look at the dent we made, look at how we made inroads into the BJP's fortress. The Congress is saying we've taken away Himachal. Hardly any exit poll even predicted that. And BJP, of course, is tom-tomming about the massive margin.
Yeah, I think I like the way Huda Jariwala made a very statesmanly or a stateswomanly speech there. To acknowledge other parties' success is a rare sign in these days of virulent politics. So I was just trying to humor her by saying she can always quote Mahatma Gandhi from, I would say that first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then you fight. So right now, and then you win. So right now, Aam Aadmi Party is transitioning from the they laugh at you stage to they fight you stage. And that is assuming that they work hard. But they are up against odds. And the most important takeaway for me, Afrida, is that there is one man called Narendra Modi who is just having no illusions, which is something that you have to give him credit for. I just heard him speak, and I was actually quite impressed by his speech because he spoke about youth, the fact that they are aspirational, the fact that there are new elements of development, and he's got a pulse on the people in general. The reason why AAP is doing well is essentially because they are there is a new aspirational India that both Modi and AAP are targeting. The Congress is not targeting them. That is my simple takeaway as far as Congress is concerned. Congress is a brand that is looking for a product. And, I'm thinking of Nokia. Nokia 20 years ago, everybody was having a Nokia phone, just like the Congress party. Now, Nokia was so, sort of in love with its own idea of being the first smartphone brand that they forgot that the smartphone actually requires a third-party ecosystem. I use it as a metaphor for Congress. There's a huge, it needs a lot of apps from outside to actually fit in, and Congress is not doing that. Whereas Aam Aadmi Party has created a couple of killer apps, especially in education and welfare, and a certain kind of articulate energy that every spokesperson of this party seems to be signaling in a very consistent, smart sort of a way, which shows a certain talent as opposed to loyalty as the prime value in driving the campaign. So this is very important. But the important point to remember another is, which Modi is conscious of, but his followers are not conscious of, which is very, very interesting. I'm reminded of the famous graffiti on back of Indian trucks, which says, "Chamcho se savdhan." Right now, Modi seems to be very careful about chamchas, but his chamchas are not. So the important point to remember is
you have given a lot of credit where it's due, Mr. Madhavan Narayanan. I must
think the important point, let me just say one thing before I wrap up, because there is no Modi juggernaut. There is no Modi wave. There's a hell of a lot of Modi hard work. This man is working hard as if he entered politics only yesterday. So give him due credit where it's due. And
absolutely. I mean, no denying, we were talking about this since morning that for a state like Gujarat, there was a macro strategy and there was a micro strategy. At both levels, the party was robust and it fought, the election as if it was an underdog, whereas it was not. I mean, it would have probably got this mandate even with half that effort. But like you said, I take that point. Satyen Kulapkar, if I may ask you here, that the first reaction that came from Congress party after the results were announced for Himachal was that now we need to keep our flock together. There is going to be some Operation Lotus that will be, initiated any moment. So that is the kind of nervousness even a winning party now has in this country, Satyen Kulapkar, because of the past bitter experience.
Even Manish Sisodiaji's tweet yesterday on the very same concern.
Yes.
See, we will really not like to get into what Congress thinks for Bharatiya Janata Party or for that any other party. We will surely introspect on Himachal on a micro level as what we do for even a winning elections like Gujarat. As I said earlier, that even in Gujarat, our top brass will sit from Monday to understand where all the other seats of 17 Congress, 5 other AAP, and 4 others have gone. So that's what we have been doing, and we will be doing it very meticulously. Yes, there was a lot of micro planning happened in Gujarat because I was part of the Central Gujarat team, which worked for the media and other campaigns. See, we here always believe that whatsoever good work that we do, that should reach to the people of Gujarat as well. It cannot be just we keep on doing some good work and we reach out to the people of Gujarat. This mixed bag creates a difference, and exactly that what has been done. Gujarat is a state where we have 8 lakh plus karyakartas in the state, and all the 8 lakh karyakartas are very, very robustly
But Mr. Kulapkar, there is only one concern I have as a citizen, and that is that even in a constituency where there is a bridge collapse, where over 140 people died, the mandate is in favor of the BJP. Now there, at least I sense that this can be a bit dangerous as well. You're claiming that we have a certain invincibility because of the way we operate as a political party, but there is something beyond politics. You know, here the fact is that here is a party, literally one would say, can get away with anything then, you know. A person who gets into a polling booth completely forgets, you know, all amnesia kicks in of anything that the BJP would have done wrong. Is that a healthy trend?
No, one must understand that the series of events that happened after Morbi, in hardly, say half an hour or 1 hour, entire BJP machinery was functioning there. The NDFR, the SDFR teams were mobilized from the PMO itself. Our chief minister and our home minister was running pillar to post in Morbi to ensure that the casualties are least. The people have seen all these things. It is nothing. It is, one must understand that yes, today also we condemn Morbi as an incident, and no political party will ever, feel happy about it.
Condemn for you, Mr. Kulapkar, it is something to realize that because there was not enough attention paid to the rural infrastructure, the rural areas, the interiors of Gujarat lie ignored. We have reported extensively, but then those very pockets have overwhelmingly voted for the BJP, or in some places, the vote split has benefited BJP. Madhavan Narayan was saying something. Mr. Narayan.
I would like to reply this.
Very important to
Yes, you will.
understand.
Let me hear Mr. Narayan first.
I think in politics, people don't make decisions based on one-off incidents, especially when there is a huge rural population. See, this whole business of being sensitive to civic issues is an urban phenomenon. So Gujarat, in spite of development, is substantially rural in outlook. The mindset of the average Gujarati is still very rural. And to that extent, Morbi won't work. The other important point is I've given a new name for Mr. Modi is Teflon Tina, which is that his personality is so overarching that he's got a Teflon coating for some of the even legitimate criticism that comes his way. And right now, in substantial parts of the Hindi belt, he's seen as a Tina, as in there is no alternative factor. So only when you cross the Vindhyas, you realize that there are towering personalities. You know, there is Naveen Patnaik and there is Stalin and there is Jagan Reddy. So there is nobody personality-wise except Kejriwal who in the substantial parts of North. And to that extent, the benefit of that vacuum goes back to Modi. And that's why Morbi doesn't hurt him as much as it should have in another context.
Okay.
For Morbi to work against Modi, you need a certain kind of middle class consciousness which is not crept into Gujarat yet. It is still very rural in its mindset. It's very traditional, very Bharat. You know, it is not.
And also the
India.
Gujarati Asmita, the fact that you have a prime minister, from Gujarat who's, traveled extensively and held so many rallies in that direct contact with the voter. All of that has worked. And in that sense, Sulaiman Khan, we didn't see much of that energy or enthusiasm. So you probably cannot blame the voter of Gujarat. You could have built on the gains you made the last time, Mr. Khan. Look at the percentage of vote you had, 42%, 2017. And you had 77 seats and you have slipped quite a bit. And if you had put in some energy, some effort, some enthusiasm, even half the effort perhaps that the BJP put into Gujarat, the results could have been better for you, you think?
You're very right. We can't blame the voters, and we are not blaming at all the voters. We are saying we respect the mandate. Whatever the people of Gujarat have decided, that is, we have to accept that with very humbly. And as far
I'm
as
going to ask you a
effort is
controversial question, Mr. Khan. Is it true that, these are all rumor mills, but is it true that you knew there is nothing to win over there and therefore you focused on Himachal Pradesh? Was that the strategy? You literally gave away Gujarat on a platter.
In that case, we should not have contested Gujarat. Why to put so much energy? Why to field candidates? Why to take all this process?
Okay.
We were quite hopeful, actually. I am telling you.
Okay, you were quite hopeful. I have to accept it.
And there was undercurrent. And there were reports coming that Congress is going to do considerably well. And even there were internal reports where it was being told that we may form the government. But whatever has happened, we have lost 15% of vote share. I completely agree. Those are facts and figures. But, every election is a learning experience. If we have
This
lost
is a
Gujarat
state
that
where
big,
you
we
had a
have
record,
won
sir. You had a
Himachal Pradesh.
149 figure at one point of
No,
time.
I am saying
This is
if we
the
have
same
lost
state
Gujarat,
where in
we have won.
1985 you won 149 seats. So it's
I
quite a big
completely
slide
agree.
for
I
you
am
there.
myself.
Yes, I would have to leave it
I
at
think we
that.
have
Okay,
conceded
finish your
defeat.
point.
I am not defending my defeat. I am saying we have lost. There are
Yes.
lessons to be learned.
Yes,
There
absolutely.
are introspection which has to be done.
No,
Factors have to be
undoubtedly,
seen
but we hear this
why
every
we have
time.
performed badly.
I don't know what
But
comes of the
otherwise,
introspection, but the very next election, we don't see the energy. So that was why I asked you that question. I take your point about how you are graciously accepting the fact that you did not do well, and that is how it is in politics. Satyen Kulapkar, Sulaiman Khan, Huda Zariwala, and Madhavan Narayan, thank you so much for joining us here on the program.